D. Williams. I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio. That's right, I'm a Buckeye fan. Three things I love about Ohio. I love my family, of course. I love my Central State University family. And of course, I love those Buckeyes. Way back when, in 1994, I'll say, I was recruited to be a systems engineer. Systems engineer is nothing but a programmer, right? A programmer is the guy that says, you get a program, you write code, that kind of stuff. That's what I was recruited for. Well, my mother gave me some advice. She said, David, you should make a list. I said, make a list? Mom, only thing I need to do is get the stuff that's in my room, put it in my car, and roll out. That's all I need to do. She said to me, okay. Now, we all know that didn't work out well, right? I forgot things. I didn't have stuff. I had to buy it up here, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know why I didn't listen to my mother, because I was used to listening to people in college, you know, in high school and all that kind of stuff. In college, I was in the band. And my band director was a strict guy. He had two things you must follow. You had to follow your itinerary, and you had to follow his instructions. And his main instruction was this. He said, we want to make sure that you are early is on time and on time is late. So I tried to take that over to corporate America, right? I said, all right, well, if on time is late, I'll just show up, I'll be early. I was a young guy, I was a young Yahoo, I was there. I was going to be at that meeting early. And I recognized corporate America, people don't think the same way that I did. So I needed to change my thinking. I needed to change what I was doing and how I was doing it. And the first thing that I recognized was I needed to come up with a plan, and I needed to be organized. And I had to go back to my musical roots. I used to read what's called the treble clef. The treble clef has 5 lines and 4 spaces. On the 5 lines, it's E, G, D, B, F, or every good boy does fine, are the notes on the line. And on the space, it's F, A, C, E. That's what I'm talking about. What's in your space? First of all, I had to formulate a plan. I had none. I was just a young Yahoo. Then I had to make some adjustments. I had to understand the corporate culture, and I had to evolve. I couldn't be the same person I was before, right? So let's go with formulate a plan. I had none. I said, look, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I just figured, I'm available. That'll do it. Being available will do everything. That wasn't going to work. I needed to make sure that I had these 6 Ps. Prior planning prevents a piss-poor performance. Now, not just on the band field, but in life. You need to make sure that you are performing. If you're not performing, if you don't have a plan and you're going to perform, it's not going to work, right? It's just not going to work. So what I did was I said, okay, what do I need to do? I need to make some adjustments. And I got that from my wife now, my girlfriend then. She had this thing that she told me. She said, hey, you want to get with me on Saturday, you got to get with me on Wednesday. Now, I didn't know it was the Detroit women or whatever. I didn't know what was going on because I had never heard of that, right? I was like, Wednesday to get with you on Saturday? I'm your man. She was like, okay, my man needs to plan with me on Wednesday. So I put that in corporate. I said, hey, you can't just give me an assignment. You need to come to me with a plan together. They started saying, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yes, I did. Listen, I'll give my wife all the credit. I stole that from her, all right? Yeah, you better give credit where credit is due, right? Anyway, so I made some adjustments. And I said, okay, well, the next one, corporate culture. Now, we had to wear suits every day. And this tie would have been too much, right? It was very conservative company. So I said, okay, what do I need to do? They said, well, you can either wear a white shirt or a striped shirt. And they said if it's a striped shirt, it had to be the width of a dime. The stripes did. I said, forget it. I'll just wear a white shirt. That was easy, right? And so I had to adjust to that corporate culture. And then I had to say, okay, I had to evolve. I was a young Yahoo, 23, 24 coming in. I couldn't be the same person I was at 23, 24. I had to evolve. I was there at that company 12 years. Each year I had to get better. Each year I had to say, okay, what do I need to do better? The big thing I recognized was I needed to help others, right? And what I did, I was a programmer, right? So I volunteered at DAPSEP. And I said, hey, I'm going to help these young kids understand programming. Because I was taught by the next note that's on the line by God was to help others. Each one teach one. That's what I was taught, right? I was drugged in the church like a lot of people. I was at Sunday school every Sunday. You would think I was a preacher's kid. I was at Sunday school. I was at church. Wednesday night service. I was there all the time. But my mother was doing that to keep me out of trouble, which I totally appreciate. But what I'm getting at is, I said, well, how can I truly give back? So now, as being what's called a healthcare analyst, I'm like, how can I give back to people? Well, I came up with this phrase, DDT. Now, I don't mean the old Jake the Snake move, right? Now, I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't mean that, okay? I mean something else. It's called the doctor, the dentist, the therapist, and the eye doctor. Work with me, people. Work with me, right? So I'm going to go backwards and then I'm going to go forward. The eye doctor. Why do I say the eye doctor? You got to be able to see. You can't even pass the driver's test without being able to see, right? My son, love him to death. I got 2 boys. My youngest said to me, he was at the front of the class. I said, oh, that's my son, front of the class guy. He was at the front of the class because he couldn't see. I didn't know until he was at church. I drug him to church too. Hey, I spread that ministry. I drug him to church too. He couldn't see. I said, man, you can't see. This is ridiculous. So then I changed it. I said, okay, we're going to go to the doctor. Okay, the eye doctor, you go once a year. The doctor, you should go once a year. Find out about your health. Your health is important. Now, I know why. Because 65% of men don't go to the doctor. You can just forget it. 72% of men said, hey, I would rather do chores than go to the doctor. So, ladies, if you got a man in your life and he's doing a bunch of chores, he probably needs to go to the doctor. That's just how that goes. I mean, I'm just letting you know. And then, with this vaccine, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm not taking it. It's on you, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to tell you what my doctor said. Now, this little lady, she told me, she said, please, David, tell everybody you know to get this vaccine. I said, why? She said, black people don't get the vaccine. She said, I know. She said, I know we have done you wrong. She said that to me. I know we have let you down. But I'm telling you, if you don't take this vaccine, you can forget it. Because I just recently turned 50, and she said, forget all these other shots. You need this vaccine. So I'm spreading that on to you. Now, that 35% that go, they don't even tell the doctor what's going on. What kind of sense does that make? Now, the next one, the dentist. 64% of people don't go to dentist. Why do we have these things and don't even use them? Best country in the world. It has its hang-ups. I'll get to that. It has its hang-ups, but don't go to the dentist. The dentist can tell you what's going on in your body too. It can say, hey, your gums are bleeding. You got gingivitis. You got blood disease. Whatever. They can tell through the dentist, right? You go to the dentist twice a year, once every 6 months. The next one, the big one, is the therapist. The therapist. Now, it's not even stats for the therapist, right? Because black people and the therapist, oh no, I go to church, right? That's where they're headed. So, hey, I've been black my entire life, I know. And so what I'm saying to you is going to the therapist. That mental health is just as important as your physical health, right? Before I got married, I went to a therapist, right? For all that, counseling, marriage counseling, that kind of stuff. After I got married, I went, while I was married, I went to the therapist. Now, why did I go? Because I was trying to combine everything that she knew in her life, and she was trying to combine everything I knew in my life, and we were trying to become one. Well, we needed some kind of direction. Somebody put us on therapy, right? So my whole thinking was, okay, well, why is it like this? Why is it like that? Well, one of the main reasons why we got a big problem here in America, and I think everybody black knows about it, is called, I don't know if I can really put my finger on it, what it is. It's racism. It's there, right? I'm fearful every day my children go out. I got 2 boys, 17 and 20. Every time they go out, I'm fearful, when they drive, because it happened to me. When I was at Muncie, Indiana, they pulled me over and said, hey, you fit the description of a black guy with a short haircut with a purple shirt. And they pulled me by gunpoint. They did it. And I said, man, I'm not that guy. Look at my record. Because my dad taught me that. He said, hey, if you got a clean record, they can't do nothing to you. The next one, I'm in corporate America, the place, I came up here for. And these jokers said to me, he said, I was at a help desk. I always like helping people. Never been a problem with that. He said to me, he had a noose at my desk. He said, you really hung yourself on that call. You didn't make this call. A noose. What black man needs a noose to rectify a situation? But that's what he thought. He thought it was cool. Now, I did not give him some, I gave him some choice words. I did not curse at him, but I gave him some choice words and said, you should never, ever put this in a black man's cube, ever. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. But he did it anyway, okay? So I recognized that it's still out there. And that was way back in 91, 92. I'm sorry, 94. 91 is when when the guns came ablazing. That was 91. Now, I was 49 years young when I found out. Guess who helped me in that situation? I didn't even know it. Of course, God was looking out for me. My dad. My dad went up to we were in Ohio. He went up to Muncie, Indiana, and told the policeman, he said, not my son. That's not my son. My son wouldn't do that. He does what he's instructed to do. Now understand this. Criminals usually don't have dads speak up for them, right? That's not what's going to happen. So I didn't know this until 49. So that's what I'm getting at with therapy. We need to share this kind of information. Now, I got only a few minutes left, but I'm going to go there. Why do we need it? What's going on? Well, I can tell you what the solution is to all this kind of racism stuff. I might have mentioned it before. You probably need to formulate a plan, make some adjustments, right? Understand the black culture, right? And evolve. You cannot be the same person, the same company you were before that you are today. You cannot be the same person. And let's not forget, you're going to have to also have the 6 Ps. prior planning prevents a piss poor performance. All right? I understand what we are and what we're going to do, but get this. I'm going to say this and let you go. It's not about what you know. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. Amen? All right. I'm David D. Williams, and I approve this message. All right?